Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about sadness. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, what is the saddest part of being a programmer? Well, this is difficult because I don't I don't really find anything sad about being a programmer anymore. I know that my coworkers do because there's a lot of frustration for a lot of reasons. Everything from unclear specifications to dependency to hostile like inter-team communication and incompetent management, etc., etc. There are so many things that aren't good about working in software development, but if we're gonna talk about something that is a little bit sad, well, I suppose that the saddest part would be that in many cases you are limited in your ability to do things and to do good work, not necessarily because the problem can't be solved, but because other people, circumstances, are not going to allow you to solve the problem. It's sort of like I can imagine the frustration and well, the emotional toll of someone who is an environmentalist or something like that, where you see the world and global warming and all of this sort of stuff happening, and you know that it has to be addressed. You know concretely the sort of things that needs to happen to fix this, yet nobody cares. Nobody seems to listen. Nobody seems to care. And unfortunately, you need them to care in order to fix the problems. And I see this in software all the time. I see big corporations hemorrhaging millions upon millions upon millions into the hands of people who could not give a shit about doing a good job or doing what's good for the company or things like that. I see grifting consultancies exploiting in dysfunctionality within companies to just which like it's almost robbery in many cases. And like for me, this is, well, let's just all be very happy that I am not in a position of ultimate power, because I would be very open to reinstating the death penalty for people who, as I like to refer to, are the people who are in my world pure evil. And to me, the definition of pure evil is that you are willing to hurt other people with the only intention of benefiting yourself. You have no excuse whatsoever. There's there's no nuance to what you are doing. You are literally prioritizing your own greed and personal gain over doing a good job, trying to actually support your customers or your family or whatever. Like you are literally so selfish that you will rather try to exploit things for your own gain rather than to fix the problems of the world. Because unfortunately, some people, when they see a hole somewhere where like there's like a real issue, they try to figure out how they can exploit this for their own benefit, to grab as much money as they possibly can and run with it. And some people just kind of go, hey, are you aware of that this is a problem? We should probably see if we can fix this, because they're good people. Sort of like black hat hackers versus white hackers. Some people are here, they try to help fix problems, and some people try to exploit and just really don't care. It's, I suppose, and there's no exception for that in software development. It's all the time I see it. A lot of large systems and larger companies, and well, any company basically, quality control of people is very difficult, extremely difficult, because when you have a large network of people who are sort of connected to each other and they need to all work together, office politics becomes a thing, and selfishness, ignorance, incompetence, etc., and like agendas and all this weirdness happens, and you get into this position where it's almost more work to just be allowed, to just get to a consensus of how to solve a problem, because there are so many personal agendas and perspectives and etc., egos to stroke and stuff like that, in order to just get people to agree on some basics. And in many cases you find that the most meaningful changes are made not by people who are supposed to fixing the thing, but rather some individual with enough autonomy and talent and skill sort of coming in and basically spearheading the whole thing. You're basically doing the work for everybody. And yet these people, you seldom find them being, well, they're not the norm. It's almost like the hero complex, or like the Jesus thing, where you sort of, the norm is that everybody sits on their ass while waiting for somebody else to fix the problems. And had they simply done even the barest minimum and committed even the barest bit and inconvenienced themselves just the minimum amount, almost all of the problems would go away the same day. But they won't, because they're waiting for somebody else to do that, or they don't want to because it would inconvenience them, etc., because God forbid that they have to actually do something that is not going to cater to their ego or their own laziness or their own greed or things like that. And that is a very real part of being a software developer. You could be the best of the best and still not be able to change a goddamn thing, fix your legacy systems, or do anything like that, because it's never about that you can't do it, technically that you can't do it. It is always about all the idiots around you and all the circumstances that causes a situation where you cannot do it, because the people around you will not allow you to either do it, give you the capacity or help, or take the time to themselves because they own parts of the systems, or like there are other factors to play in, where we can simply not quality control all the people involved. And a problem that requires high levels of skill in order to be solved, well, it's very rare, no matter how important that problem is to solve, that you're going to find a simple solution to that problem. Usually the best thing you can do is to start a political movement, even within software, where you try to convince all of these people that you should allow the best and the brightest within your company to do the thing that they are paid to do, the thing that everybody's paid to do. And if they can't make that happen, if they can't get the buy-in from people who are even more ignorant than most people, but unfortunately are managers and so forth, the problem goes unsolved. And I don't know how many companies who have gone over and failed within IT, not because there's no way of solving their issues, but because they simply have invested in the wrong people. And those people are either incompetent or unwilling to fix the issues of the company, and the company goes bankrupt, goes over or loses to competitors, because they simply could not find people who are going to actually fix the issues and have I don't want to say too much, but who have that magical combination of talent and pureness of intent. Because that seems to be the scarcest resource humanity has, at least from what I can see. So what I want you to take away from this is that the saddest part of being a software developer is that you need a lot of people, and quality control of people is very difficult in software development. And in many cases you will find that people may not share your idealistic views on how to do things and so forth, and even in many cases you find that some of the issues that you have could actually be solved in a fairly easy manner. But the problem is that you need that magical combination. You need people who know how to fix things, like they are talented and willing to help. They have pureness of intent. They are here to do a good job. That combination is the scarcest things. Is one of the scarcest things that I know of, and usually you are in many cases you're in a situation where a lot of this really awesome, cool stuff that could be done, and a lot of the times when companies go over, or like you have issues within the IT department, it's not because it has to be that way. It is because you're not able to find that magical combination of people who will make all these things happen. And I can make hundreds of videos, well, I actually have, related to why this happens, how it happens, and how to, at least from my perspective, prevent it in many cases. Have a great day.